This is the most exciting part of the process, and I'll tell you why. It's why I bought Pixinsight. I was using Photoshop to edit all my astrophotography photos. And then all of a sudden I was just like, man, this kind of sucks, this experience. Why aren't I using Pixinsight? You know what? I kind of realized why I wasn't using Pixinsight because, and let me show you what I saw when I started looking at Pixinsight. I saw this. I saw this interface, I was just like, oh man, I can't, my head's going to explode. I just can't, I can't do this. I can't. And, I eventually came around though. I was like, you know what? The juice was worth the squeeze. It really was. It was worth the squeeze. I mean, it took me a while to learn Pixinsight and learn all of its in and outs, but being able to remove background, light pollution from your image, such as this one, is absolutely amazing. So this is my 03 image. It's full of light pollution, as you can see. It's got light pollution over here, over here, over here. But you shouldn't start with the image that has the most light pollution. Actually, on the contrary, you should start with your image that has the most signal, which is the Ha. And you can see everything. And I'm going to show you why. So let's just get into this because I'm sick of talking and I just want to kind of get into it and kind of show you how to do this. So I'm going to hit this reset tool. And what we're going to do first is kind of start putting squares on our background. And that's really why I'm saying you got to start with the image with the most signal. So I'm going to start not with the 5 that is the default here, but I'm going to make my square about 100 because we don't want to do a 5. It's too small. So here we go. We're going to make one square there, one square there, one square there. And let me just kind of show you why I wouldn't use a 5. Ooh, look how small those are. You can't even see them. Let's go back to 100. I'm going to resize that. So I'm going to keep putting squares all over my background. And this is just to get a sample. These are called samples, right? You're getting samples of your background. What you want to do is place it on areas that are dark as well as areas that are light polluted. You don't want to put any on your signal. Don't put any over here. No. Don't put any over there. So just put it on the background. That's it. Don't worry about the stars. Who cares about the stars? It seems like Pixinsight does a pretty good job figuring out what is stars here. You could see it right here. Everything that's white is considered the background. Everything that's black is going to be excluded from its formula. And we're going to get to that a little bit later, but let's keep moving along here and placing all our squares. Okay. So we've placed all these squares all over the background now. And at this point, what I want to do is kind of drag. Well, no, actually, wait. Let's back up. What I want to do is change my tolerance. That's the first thing that I want to do. So up here, you could see that the ratio of white background that it's going to do, or I should say execute on, versus black, what it's going to exclude is just a little too much, right? So what we want to do is change our tolerance to 4. And this is going to get also important when we get to images like the 03 image, because you're going to need a tolerance of at least 4 because the background is very light. In this case, it's not. It's a Ha. It's a great image. Hardly has any light pollution, but when you get to the 03, you're going to need a tolerance of 4. So trust me, just use 4. Don't even think about it. Just use 4. Maybe 3. You could use 3, but I would just use 4. So there you go. Tolerance 4. And now you can see this view changed up here. The stars will be excluded from the background modelization and the white will be included. So, okay, I'm going to move down here now. And this is the last step of the process, is to do some target image correction. And this is really just kind of more like settings. So the correction I'm going to want to choose for light pollution is subtraction. What I'm going to do is also discard the background model and replace the target image. Don't ask any questions. Just do it. Just click these 2 things, okay? So the last thing I want to do is drag out an instance, as you do with any Pixinsight process, especially when you have other images to apply it to. I'm going to rename this. I'm going to rename this to DB. Okay, so I renamed this to DB. And basically what I'm going to do now that I have this on my desktop, I'm going to execute dynamic background extraction on this image first. So let me do that. There we go. I have executed dynamic background extraction and I'm going to close it. And now I'm going to do a screen transfer function. Oop, that's not working too well. Okay, there we go. Command A, Control A, whatever it is. Now you can see the effects of dynamic background extraction on the high image, which aren't drastically different, but hey, it's still a little bit darker. The background's a little bit flatter. It's cool. Let's try this now on the O3 image. Now this is where it's going to get more interesting. So one of the cool things about this and why I wanted to start with the high is because down here is actually signal, right? You got signal down here. So if I didn't start with my high image, I might have put squares all over here, thinking this was light pollution down here, but this is not light pollution. This is signal. So it's good that I started with my high image. So, all right, let's execute this one. And you're going to see a big difference here. I'm going to do a screen share. Look at that. Look at that. That's pretty amazing. All this light pollution that was here in the corners and everything is now gone. We're still maintaining some signal over here. Let's just look at what it used to look like before. This is what all the light pollution. Look at that. And we're going to go back again. Oop, not that back. Let's go back here. Oop, can't do it. All right. Oh, well. So, let's just go back here with the light pollution. And I don't know how I did this in the past. I feel like I always did that. Okay. There we go. Resolved. Image without light pollution. It's absolutely amazing. I'm not going to bore you with doing the rest of my images, but that's dynamic background extraction. I hope you loved it. I love it. It's the reason that got me into Pixinsight. I look forward to seeing you on my next video, which is deconvolution. We'll talk soon.